So Thunderbolts is about to drop, as you all know, and Marvel is already out here acting like Thunderbolts is the second coming of cinema. Spoiler alert, is not. And we've seen this tired hype before, and Thunderbolts is shaping up to be another embarrassing flop in a long line of Marvel disasters. Now, if you think that the Thunderbolts is going to save the MCU, well, basically you're going to be in for a brutal reality check. Now, if you've been paying any attention to stuff and judging by, the whole box office numbers, a lot of people haven't, well, you remember we heard this before, this exact same song and dance with Captain America Brave New World, and now it's being recycled again for Thunderbolts, all right? Now remember that nightmare? The Captain America 4 thing, they hyped that garbage as some sort of groundbreaking, stunning, brave masterpiece, and it exploded on impact. Made just over $400 million worldwide for a Marvel movie. That's a straight up fiasco right there. And guess what? They're playing the same pathetic game with Thunderbolts now. It's pathetic and it's also desperate. Now, the early reactions for Thunderbolts are all the same recycled garbage. Florence Pugh is superb. Marvel's darkest material yet. Give me a break. These people would call a wet fart bold storytelling if it had a Marvel logo slapped on it. It's basically a complete meltdown over there, and they're just simply pretending that Thunderbolts is just some sort of second coming to redeem Marvel. It's cringe to even watch them try. And also, let's not ignore the reason why they're hyping up Thunderbolts. You see, they're simply trying to tie it directly to Avengers Doomsday. They're just dangling that, bigger, shinier carrot in front of you, trying to go ahead and trick people into thinking that they have to see this movie so they'll understand the next Avengers movie. There might be some stones or pebbles, the director says, with a smug smile on the face from the interview. Yeah, that's real subtle right there. They're basically admitting that this movie isn't even strong enough to stand on its own. They have to hook it into something bigger just to get butts in the seats. And the lineup for this movie, I mean, let's be real here. The whole trailer thing, not trailer, that promotion thing, they did. Nobody cares about half of these characters. Ghost, wasn't she in Ant-Man and the Wasp like a million years ago? Nobody remembers her like that. Red Guardian, barely a joke character. U.S. Agent, please. The new Black Widow, yeah, because the old Black Widow was so iconic and they decided to kill her off for reasons. Honestly, the only one that might still get a little audience sympathy is Bucky himself, the Winter Soldier. And even that's a stretch these days after how badly Marvel has handled him. But I'll be honest, I will say this. Based on the trailers for this movie, there's a slim chance it might actually be better than the embarrassment that was Captain America Brave New World. But that's like saying a dumpster fire smells slightly better than a sewage plant. I mean, it's not exactly a high bar. And the real question isn't whether it's better, it's whether anyone actually cares enough to show up for Thunderbolts. And spoiler, judging by the numbers, the answer is looking like a hard no. Now, box office tracking for Thunderbolts right now, I mean, straight up nightmare fuel for Marvel. A few weeks ago, Thunderbolts was tracking for an $80 to $90 million opening. Not great, not terrible, but now it's sinking faster than Biden's approval ratings. Too soon? The latest projections as of April 25th are between $75 and $85 million. For comparison, Brave New World opened around $90 million and was still a gigantic flop. If Thunderbolts can't even hit that, it's going to get destroyed, and it deserves to. And don't fall for the whole, corporate spin either. Y'all remember what they said after, Captain America 4's opening? It's breaking records for Captain America movie. Yeah, maybe if you ignore inflation, ignore budget costs, ignore global sales, and squint really hard while trying to line through your teeth, In reality, it was a full-blown fiasco. And now this movie is heading toward an even more embarrassing disaster. Tone deaf doesn't even begin to describe it. This movie isn't just, failing to live up to the hype, it's actively killing what little excitement Marvel had left. Now, Marvel think that they can just simply go ahead and slap a few D-list characters together in this movie, mumble something about setting up Doomsday, and people are going to go flood to theaters like it's 2018 again. It's not 2018, it's 2025. People are tired of the same broken promises from Marvel. People are broke. People have seen this cheap trick too many times, especially with something like this movie. The magic is gone. All that's left is a bunch of insufferable marketing campaigns and a studio that's rotting from the inside out. Now, look, projections can be wrong, sure, I'll admit it. Sometimes a movie simply outperforms, sometimes it underperforms. Minecraft, for example, exploded past expectations. Snow White, massive collapse on the flip side. But when it comes to Marvel and this movie, it's usually pretty close because they've been around so long. Buying patterns are set. The brand used to mean something, and now it just means mid at best. And when even Thunderbolts projections are this low, you know something is seriously wrong behind the scenes. But let's be real. If Thunderbolts drops even lower than Brave New World, which itself was a total meltdown, it's going to be devastating. It tells you that nobody cares about these characters, and certainly nobody cares about the Thunderbolts brand that Marvel is pushing through this movie. Way different from the comics, by the way. And nobody cares about this storyline that they got. Nobody trusts Marvel anymore. And guess what? These Thunderbolts characters are supposed to be in Avengers Doomsday. So, yeah, congratulations, Marvel. Your big setup movie is a flop. Your team up movie is a flop. And the only thing you're building toward is a giant, expensive, embarrassing train wreck. And the real crazy part here, Fantastic Four is also supposed to be basically the crown jewel of Marvel's future after this bombs. Now, it's the one movie that they're banking everything on, the savior of the MCU, and that's also getting jammed into the Doomsday setup tied to this movie. And so Marvel's entire next phase, the next Avengers movie, the next Fantastic Four movie, and this movie itself is basically resting on the back of two failing, crumbling, dead on arrival projects. It's a fiasco waiting to happen. It's also setting up for the most epic meltdown that Marvel's ever seen, okay? And you can't build a cinematic universe on broken foundations like this movie. And that's exactly what Marvel is doing right now. Captain America Brave New World broken, this movie breaking, Fantastic Four not even out yet, and people are already skeptical because of how bad this movie looks. Now, the hype machine isn't even working anymore. The magic words aren't even magic anymore. Trust the brand doesn't mean jack when the brand stands for lazy writing, boring characters, and soulless storytelling. Now, I'll be honest, Marvel did have everything, and they had it. They flushed it down the toilet with projects like Thunderbolts. Now they're stuck trying to patch together whatever scraps they have left, trying to convince you that, Thunderbolts is golden. But guess what? This movie is not. It's all a desperate attempt, a desperate tone deaf attempt to pretend like nothing's wrong. But audiences aren't buying it anymore. The box office numbers for Thunderbolts don't lie. The meltdown is real. The collapse is happening right before our eyes, okay? Now, Thunderbolts is basically shaping up to be another insufferable mess in a long line of Marvel failures. Just another cringe inducing cash grab pretending to be meaningful cinema. Another flop that'll be spun by the media as groundbreaking until the opening weekend numbers come in and the whole thing explodes in their faces. Now, Marvel isn't fooling anyone anymore, with Thunderbolts especially. And it's about time they figure that out. So let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Be sure to go ahead and smash the like button in this video if you enjoyed what was said in it. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on that bell for future notifications. And I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, peace.